What's going on, Packers fans? Welcome to your Packers Daily Chat. Coming to you live on the Cheesehead TV social channels. It is a Victory Monday. Remember those? Because I do. It feels like it's been a while. Because it has been. Packers getting off the 5-game losing streak that was seemingly defining their season and careening towards a lost cause of a season until magically, heroically, the Green Bay Packers pulled themselves out of the fire like a phoenix rising from the ashes and other cliche dramatic metaphors. The Packers maybe didn't save their season. It is just one game, but damn, it feels good to be back in the win column, especially against that opponent. The return of Mike McCarthy to Lambeau Field got to ruin that, got to ruin Jerry Jones's flight back to Dallas. It's all good. Everything about that is wonderful, including the fact that the Packers seemingly found a way of operating on offense. Now, I thought they did that in Buffalo, and seemingly that all got thrown out the window in Detroit. But hopefully, maybe, just maybe, the Packers have found a way forward. Now, obviously, I don't suspect that we're going to see many more games where Aaron Rodgers only throws 20 passes, but you sure can't deny the results. The running game truly opening things up downfield. The one-on-ones afforded to Christian Watson in the downfield passing game certainly produced results. And again, I don't expect it to go that way each and every week, but it certainly is the blueprint. Something some of us have been screaming about pretty much for a month and a half regarding helping your aging quarterback, especially in an offense where your playmakers on the perimeter are up and down week to week, hell, drive to drive sometimes. The running game truly opened things up on the offensive side of the ball. And then on defense, yeah, no doubt, it was touch and go, especially there in the second half. Dallas did some nice things on offense. They are a very talented team, and they are quite explosive. But I will also point out that Joe Barry's crew did a very good job getting stops when they were needed. No question about it in the first half. Two big turnovers from Joe Barry's crew resulted in 14 points from the offense. Complimentary football, if you will. I know many of us have probably forgotten what that's all about, but the Packers had it on full display there in the first half, kept the Packers not only in the game, but allowed them to take the lead at one point, something they have not had in a very long time. This is the way forward, or it should be. We'll see. Man, they'll come out Thursday night and go 5 wide against the Titans. We'll because the Titans have a tough run defense. Blah blah blah. So who knows? But in the moment, feels great, wonderful. Not only get that Packers victory, but to get a huge game from Christian Watson, who I'm just going to say it. A lot of you, and I'm not saying Packers fans, this general statement thing. I'm talking a lot of you guys here in the chat over the course of the last couple weeks had started to write off. I see you. I'm not blind. I don't ignore it. I see it. I don't always comment on it. But there are a number of you, whether in YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, what have you. I've seen you folks writing him off. So it was phenomenal to see that kid rise up and produce in a big way on a big stage and help the Packers stake a victory. Phenomenal work from the rookie. Hello to everybody in the comment section. So good to see everybody. Got a bunch of super chats already. Uh, I do want to give Brandy a shout out, who was in here even before the stream started, saying, Packers won. Can people not bitch until Thursday night, please? Thanks. I feel, Brandy. I feel you. I may have already been guilty of it. Nick, thanks for the super chat. As Packer fans, we are spoiled with how many games we win over the years. Last night, I haven't appreciated a win so much in a long time. I feel you, man. That taste of victory, when you're not feeling it, especially over consecutive weeks, over a month, yeah, it can take a toll emotionally, your whole mindset. I feel it, man. And look, here's the other thing. Talk about being spoiled. Right. We feel it as fans. Imagine how it feels in the building. Like, we get to turn our TVs off and go on with our lives. I mean, content creators, we got to do some stuff, video, writing, whatever. But even then, we can kind of shove it aside and go on and do whatever we need to do, live our life, right? That's their job. That's their profession. That's what they live. That's what they breathe. 365, some more than others. But you know what I'm saying? Like, this is not happenstance. This is not some entertainment for them. This is their gig. So 5 weeks in a row of losing, I have zero doubt this win felt pretty damn good, not only for everybody in Packer fandom, but everybody inside that building. Tyler Ocamp, thanks for the super chat. Mike throwing headsets like the good old days. I did love seeing Mike's temper come out and frustration and the passion and the fire. I think people probably remember that sideline outburst. I believe it was in 2018, his last year in Green Bay, when he went after that ref in Washington. Man, frustration builds up, and Mike lets it out. Mike did a very, very, very good job, especially early in his tenure, of keeping a lid on that stuff. I mean, he has a volcanic temper, which he does not. He has done a good job of not allowing that to kind of rule him on the sideline for the most part throughout his whole career. But every once in a while, it comes out, no doubt about it. I'll never forget Ryan Grant talking about halftime in a game where they were beating, I think it was the Tim Tebow led Broncos. They were just beating the pants off of them at halftime. And they go into the locker room, and Ryan was like, and Mike absolutely lost his shit because we weren't beating them by enough. Like, that's the kind of stuff that we don't really generally aren't privy to on the outside, but that's who Mike is. What's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. How sweet this win tasted yesterday. Let's go. Yes. Yes. FB091448. We're not dead. NFC title game confirmed. I'm not dead yet. That's the Packers season right there. Toby, thank you for the super chat. Is it delusional to think they can beat anyone this year as long as they don't beat themselves? It feels like all their losses are self-inflicted. 100%, Toby. And this is something that Rodgers alluded to a couple weeks ago at the podium. I don't know if it was post-game or if it was his Wednesday. I mean, it might have been a locker room session. I think it was a post-game comment where he said, he was asked about the difference between, losing 5 in a row and what was it that was kind of missing or not happening for them, et cetera. And he noted, we're losing a lot of one-score games. And a bunch of that can be attributed to shooting yourself in the foot and giving your opponent an extra opportunity, mental mistakes leading to longer kind of, going from 1st and 10 to 1st and 20. It's things like that, just putting yourself in a bad position. So, no, I don't think it's delusional at all, Toby. Now, the margin for error has certainly gotten razor thin. Now the NFC, being the NFC, affords the Packers an opportunity. I'm not saying it's a good one. Never tell me the odds, etc. But they could very well sneak into a playoff conversation. But none of that means anything if they don't win on Thursday night. And I know it's AFC opponent. I get it. But they got to start stacking some wins. Got to do it right now. So, yes, no, it is not delusional whatsoever. Ian, I'm glad you asked this question. Do you think Amari is done or they'll try to use him on offense at all? I do not think he is done. I do not think he should be cut, but he should 1,000% not be returning punts. I've said this for roughly about a year now. There was a tweet I put out. I retweeted it last night during the game from November 7th of 2021 saying the Amari Rodgers punt return experiment needs to end. That's how readily apparent it has been for such a long time that he should not be out there. Now, all of that said, I do not agree with calls to cut him outright. I think that is foolish and nearsighted. I think he can still contribute from scrimmage. I know nobody wants to hear that, but I do believe he can help this team in some capacity. In offensively, from scrimmage, move the chains, ball, possessing the ball, all of those things. I think he can help. Now, it's bad timing for him because here comes Randall Cobb, most likely going to be back in the lineup on Thursday night against the Titans. And that would presumably be his role, but it's not looking good for him to contribute anytime soon. Let's put it that way. But I do not think you cut him outright. Absolutely not. John, thank you for the super chat. I feel that was their best played game in a long time since maybe the Rams game last year. Great offense, solid defense. We will just leave special teams alone, though. Here's the other thing. Special teams outside of that fumble, they didn't play too poorly. I thought they handled things pretty damn well. Flawless, no, but obviously Amari's fumble puts a bad taste in your mouth. But for the most part, I thought special teams was more than fine. I thought they played pretty damn well, actually. But it's hard to overcome giving the Cowboys new life in field position and thereby leading to a score. But yeah, I think overall, probably their most complete game of the season. That's not a very high bar, but yeah, no doubt. Kevin, thanks for the super chat. I like to think that the last thing that went through Sorry, I used the wrong voice there, Kevin, when I finally realized where you're going. I'd like to think that the last thing that went through McCarthy's head, other than that field goal, is how the hell the 2022 Packers ever got the best of him. I love it. Anytime you can get a Shawshank Redemption tie-in to the Green Bay Packers, I'm all in. FB, thanks to Super Chat. We're not dead. NFC title game confirmed. I'm down. Andy, thank you for the Super Chat. Saturday was my father's memorial. The whole fam was together to watch the game in his honor. May not matter at the end of the season, but this win was a special one. Love you, Pops. Oh, Andy, shout out to your dad, man. What a great tribute. Phenomenal. I'd love to say that the Packers did anything inspiring for my mother's passing, but basically they've been losing since she since she went away. So it was good to finally see them turn around. So happy for you and your family. That's phenomenal. Shout out to your dad. I'm sure he is somewhere looking down with a big smile, thanking you for that. Johnny Rivers, thanks for the super chat, bud. They didn't crumble after getting hit in the face. They did not. And that's kind of what I was noting in my headline for gut reactions last night. The Packers, and I didn't say finally, I probably should have, or maybe I did, I can't remember. But the Packers punched back for once. You know, you go down 28-14, it's in the fourth quarter. We have seen this team repeatedly fold in lesser situations. And the fact that they fought back and came back to win that game is a testament to a team that did not give up, was not going to give up, was still stuck together, was not pointing fingers. I mean, I don't know if that's, a turning point of the season, this team starts to emerge. I have no idea about any of that, but that is an encouraging sign, especially after everything we've seen in the last month plus. No question about it. Johnny, I also want to give you a shout out for being a good sport yesterday on the live chat. I know I can get a bit surly when people are coming after us and the Packers, etc. You're a man, you're a myth, you're a legend, and I appreciate the support here at GZ TV. Thanks, bud. Joe Mailman, thanks for the super chat. Seemed like having a deep threat at wide receiver made everybody on offense so much smarter. Complementary football is a beautiful thing. I mean, it helps when you execute, right? I mean, I think that's the kind of thing they've been wanting to do for a while, but they just haven't been able to execute it. Whether that's stuff up front, whether that's the wide receiver catching the ball, guys running the correct routes at the correct spacing. Look no further than the Cowboys on the opposite sideline and the opposite side of the field, where I think both, well, not both, but the absolutely the first interception from Dak is a combination of probably a bad read, maybe a forced throw from him, but also the reroute of the tight end from the Packers threw them into disarray, and they did not handle that well at all. The tight end gets way too shallow, basically brings the safety over. Ford finally sees it and makes a break on the ball. Got to think the wide receiver probably needs to cut that route off better, but he's too preoccupied with what the tight end is doing. Those are the types of things the Packers have been doing for a month. And to see another team fall prey to it and the Packers actually execute, look no further than that fourth down play where Watson got his second touchdown. I mean, Watson's amazing route notwithstanding, because it was great. But the play design there, everyone doing their job, and go back and watch the protection on that play. Both Bakhtiari and Yash are basically on islands with the edge rushers. And then Rodgers has all sorts of space in front of him and is able to make the read, see Watson breaking open, and then step up and into his throw. There's nobody in his lap. Juxtapose that with the last time this team played in Lambeau Field, where Rodgers is basically running for his life all afternoon against the Jets. I mean, it was absolutely night and day. Offensive line needs a big time shout out for their performance, because look, we all talked about Parsons coming into Lambeau and potentially wrecking this game. And I think he had, a handful of tackles, I think 5 on the day, but he did very little in regards to harassing the quarterback. And that's a major shout out to the protection unit, specifically the offensive line. No question about it. Vex, thanks to the super chat. Find a punt returner. Find someone to just catch punts. Dig up the corpse of Devin Hester. Do something. Well, Vex, they put Keyshawn Nixon back there. And his unorthodox catching method notwithstanding, I thought he did a fine job. I'm all for it. I thought they were going to go that route after London. It only took a month. David, what's up, man? Thanks for super chat. I told you they'd rally. Yeah, you did. That's why I put that clip up. Well, that and Corey singing Bonnie Tyler, but 100%. Patrick, thanks for the super chat. Victory Monday is so sweet. Damn right it is. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Roger's last ponytail. What's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. All the Watson haters sure are quiet right now. Well, they need to be, right? You can't be exactly calling a kid a bust after 3 touchdown performances, can you? Love it. Love it. What else we got? Cheeto, thanks for the super chat. It's a relief to know that based on a Cowboys game, Aaron is not going blind. No, he is not going blind. Definitely a performance he'd probably like to erase from all memory banks there in Detroit. Back on track against the Cowboys in Lambeau. No question about it. Soder, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. It took 10 games for it to finally show, but seeing Watson run past and away from defenders really does give off a Lofton vibe. That long stride, right? Man, when he eats up cushion and then you talk about even and leaving. When he's up on a guy, it is over. It's like the classic once you realize what he's doing, it's too late. You've already got. I love it. I absolutely love it. Pat, thanks for super chat. If the Jeff Saturday experiment works, that means the next head coach for Green Bay will be BJ Raji, right? I thought we already determined it's going to be Donald Driver. Regardless, can't wait to see it. Colin, thanks for super chat. Ayahuasca is out of the system. The scotch, pettiness, and danger are back. The dark side is a pathway to many abilities. Some consider it to be unnatural. You guys got to give me like a movie quote warning or something so I can do the right voice. I love it, though. I love it. Edmundo, what's up, man? Thanks for super chat. Never tell me the odds. Packers are going to the playoffs and beyond this season. Go, Pack, go. I gotta hand it to you, man. You are a real one. You are an absolute real one. You do not care. You are all in. You carry the G, my friend, and I greatly appreciate it. In these dark times, 5-game losing streaks, Edmondo is out here going, we can do it, baby. That's what I like to see. Big B is here. What's up, Big B? The Big B game will go down in history. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know the story of Big B and his trip to Green Bay and meeting not just the Packers, like all of the Packers and breaking down the huddle at practice and talking to Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur, you got to A, make sure you check out his Twitter feed, and B, you're going to want to be on the happy hour tomorrow night. The Cheesehead TV happy hour will definitely be taking a decent amount of time to hear from Big B about his entire weekend. Not only going to practice, meeting everybody, but then at the game, seeing that big win. Big B turned the season around, buddy. And we appreciate you. Gots to love it. Jonathan, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. Do the voice again. Matt LaFleur crawled through 500 yards of shit and made it out clean on the other side. That's 5 football games. That's so good. That's better than my voice. My voice is terrible, but that's outstanding. Ryan, what's up, man? I ain't saying your last name because I'm going to say it wrong. Willie. I got it. Ryan Willie. Just took me a second to remember. Thanks for super chat. I hope it's cold Thursday night and we run Quadzilla. Well, the flip side of that is it'll be cold and they'll be running Derrick Henry. I don't think anybody on the Packers defense wants that. But I do remember an instance a couple years ago, a December Sunday night football game in Lambeau. Aaron Jones was injured and they had to turn to one A.J. Dillon, and he basically demolished the Titans in the snow in Lambeau Field back in 2020. So, yeah, I feel okay. I feel okay about it. They want to play that style of ball. Let's go there. I'm all in. Let's do it. Parsons was playing linebacker, not edge. He was playing all over the place, and he did nothing for the most part. And he also got hurt. You can't deny that. He also was out with injury for a bit as well. Tyler, thanks for the super chat. I hope the NFL Films archivists lose the film on the final regulation drive. It never happened. Sharpie the W. Watson looks like a first-round pick to me. Well, he almost was. The Vikings just didn't want to give up 32 to the Packers and give them the fifth-year option for the kid. So, they were comfortable trading with the Packers in the second round, which, thanks, Minnesota. Appreciate it. Uncultured, thanks for the super chat. One of the best parts of Victory Monday, watching national pundits and Skip Bayless eat a big bag of Pappies. Thanks, buddy. David, again, what's up, man? Who, if anyone, comes back from injury for Thursday? Cobb is I'm not going to say 100%, but, from all accounts, he will be out there Thursday. He'll be back in the lineup. It didn't sound as promising for Devondre. We'll see. Matt categorized him as day to day. I kind of talked about this, I think, yesterday on the stream, or it might have been the last Packers Daily. But if I'm the Packers, you've got the short turnaround. You're working pretty well on defense with Walker there and with McDuffie alongside him in certain packages. If I'm the Packers, I sit him for one more game. You get that mini bye afterwards, and then you come back into the next week against Philly and you put him back up. But that's just me, a know nothing blogger with a YouTube channel. We'll see. They have more access to any medical information than we could ever dream of. I trust whatever call they make. So we'll see on Devondre. I think those are the two biggest ones, right? Well, because we're not going to see Dobbs anytime soon. Things of that nature. Robert, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. Shout outs to Matt for sticking with the run game for once. Aaron Jones plays his heart out every down. Hope this will become a recurring theme. I do too, Robert. I get on Matt about abandoning the run and all those things, but there is a plan and they do things for a reason. It's not like they're just out there playing Madden or whatever. But yes, I'm with you. I love it. I love to see it. I love Aaron Jones. Get him the football early and often. I understand not wanting to overwork him. I get that the sweet spot for Aaron is probably around 20 touches. And we all scream about getting him 15 carries, which I'm all for. But I do think, he is prone to missing a game or two every year due to some nagging injury. And you want to make sure he's fresh, especially down the stretch. So, yeah, I don't totally discount that or, completely dismiss it. But man, he is fun to watch and he is a difference maker. He is a superstar when given the chance. Give him the chance. That's all I ask. Jared, thanks for the super chat. Did 12 have Watson and Dillon when he yells at Matt LaFleur? Did 12 have Watson and Dillon when he yells at Matt LaFleur? Not quite sure what you're asking. Maybe you're talking about that last play, that third down. And I'm not so sure. I mean, I think Watson settles in like he's it looks like he's settling in thinking that he's in a certain part of the zone and Rodgers didn't like it because the linebacker is drifting back inside. That was my read of it anyway. As far as Dillon, I didn't really look. I have to go back and see. Ant, what's up? Thanks for the super chat. I don't understand how we're still having to rush the snap of the ball coming out of a timeout. Maddening. Man, they're never, ever, 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 ever going to be a tempo offense. Ever, ever, ever. They're always going to take their time. Aaron's always going to want the perfect set. He's going to want the perfect picture before he snaps the ball. He's going to want to utilize every ounce of that play clock as he possibly can. And that includes coming out of a timeout, which, yes, is maddening. But it's the way he works. He's a 4-time MVP. Played a hell of a game yesterday. It's hard for me to get too upset about it. I mean, I get upset about it in the moment. There's no doubt about it. But you pull back afterwards, and it's like, it's who he is. It's who he's always been. It's not changing anytime soon. Uncultured. Thanks to the super chat. In honor of Soder, today's jams are Long Train Running, China Grove, and What a Fool Believes by the Doobie Brothers. Pappies. Man, I was just listening to What a Fool Believes this morning. I love that song. I love that. All their songs. Silas, thanks for the super chat. I love Lazard. Such a great team player. Yes, he is. Absolutely does the dirty work, and then you love seeing him being rewarded with that big play in overtime to set up the winning field goal. I mean, that's where he's faking like he's going to block, which is what most teams expect him to be doing. He's a great blocker. He is a big part of what they do in the run game, on the perimeter, doing dirty work when he comes inside, lines up in line. So that's how teams view him. And then when he's given the opportunity to get up there and make it look like he's going to block and then run that slant, you see the results. It's so, so good. Gotta love it. Andy, thanks for super chat. So who is returning punts Thursday night? Nixon, Cobb, Bueller, Fry? No, it'll be Cameron. No, it'll be Nixon. I know they're talking about, we're working through it. It'll be Nixon. I mean, let me tell you something right now. If Amari Rodgers is back there returning punts on Thursday night, I may just perish from the earth in that very moment. John, thanks for the super chat. We just here being a bunch of buffoons. John, whatever could you be referencing? We'll go over this. First of all, we'll go over it with Big B at happy hour. And then I'm sure Corey and I will have some things to say on Packer transplants on Wednesday night. And yes, we will be having Packer transplants on Wednesday night. Not quite sure what the timing will be yet because Corey will be in LA. But there will be a transplants, and we will talk about said buffoonery. Uncultured Barbarian, thanks for the super chat. Bonus jams for underage Packers. Big B and Joey the Jaguar. Kids in America by Kim Wilde. And The Boys Are Back in Town by Thin Lizzy. Those two are light years ahead of where I was at their ages. Corey and I always say, man, these guys coming for our jobs. We'll all be working for them sooner rather than later. No doubt about it. No question. What else we got, folks? Cowboys were up 28-14 in the fourth with Dak tossing 2 picks. I don't see the Pack making the playoffs. Vikings are running away with the division. NFC East is probably going to put 3 teams in the playoffs. They won the game, man. It doesn't matter how they won it. I mean, the Vikings, who you're putting in the Hall of Fame for whatever reason, needed a boneheaded pick by Josh Allen and their inability to work on the center quarterback exchange to get their win in Buffalo. It's a week-to-week thing, man. I mean, it doesn't matter if they lose on Thursday night. They're probably right back in the season's over category that we were all thinking they were in coming out of Detroit, but we don't know. One game at a time, man. I mean, come on. Did you watch the Eagles last year? Did you see them get into the playoffs? Did you think that was going to happen? No. Did you think the Packers were going to make the playoffs when they were 4-6 in 2016? No. You never know, man. Don't be so negative. Come on, man. Carry the G. All right, everybody. I got to get going. I can't thank you enough for hanging out, talking Packers each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Cheesehead TV social channels. Please do me a monster favor. Whoa. We got 2 last-second super chats. Porkmaster. Always got to say hi to Porkmaster. What's up, buddy? Need help squaring a circle. I know coaches will forget more about football than I will ever know, but that's it for Amari, right? Please. Everyone can see it, but the coaches apparently. Go Pack. I talked about this right at the top of the stream, Porkmaster. That's it for him as a returner, or it should be. No question about it. But I don't agree with cutting him outright. I think he can still help you from scrimmage. I think he has helped them from scrimmage at times this season, if people care to remember. But no, he should not be back there for returns ever again. Henry, thanks for the super chat. Any free agent pass rushers we can add? Not really. And week 10 of the NFL season. Now, maybe someone shakes loose, gets cut. Maybe that happens, but even then, you got to get that whoever that might be off waivers. But yeah, this point of the season, not too many free agent pass rushers just hanging out. All right, everybody, got to get going. Thank you so much for all the chats and taking the time out of your day to make Cheesehead TV even a small part of your daily Packers routine. We really appreciate it here at Cheesehead TV. Like I said, tomorrow night, going to be a fun happy hour. Patreon members and Carry the G Club members here on YouTube. The information will be on the community page here. It'll be on the Patreon page on Patreon. Please do me a monster favor, regardless of if you support us monetarily or not, but just do me a monster favor and hit subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Even if you come here every day and you know my schedule and you know I'm going to be online talking Packers, etc. When you're not subscribed, please just hit sub. It really means a lot to us. Every sub is just the world to us. Thank you so much for everybody who already subscribes. Please hit like on the video and then tell your friends and tell your family. Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night. Go Pack, go.